Time for race 3, Grant, and the grid is an aggregate of the first 2 races.
It sure is. Grant Johnson, the man who missed the first 2 practice sessions but whacked it straight on pole, is on pole for race 3.
Jack Elsgood to start from 6th, looking to make up for that penalty from race 2. Steve Robinson, very, very consistent. And Steve Hodges, the Isri Truck Seats Commodore, has been one of those ones going under the radar.
Yeah, we noticed that a few people claiming that they're a little down on horsepower at the middle part of the season where engines are starting to get a little tired, and those that haven't had their upgrade yet are starting to suffer. Rob Jarvis and David Turner joining the category this weekend. Turner formerly from the Mini Challenge Series last year, but a full field of cars, lots of colour, lots of excitement, and race 3 is set to go off. Grant Johnson and Gary Baxter on the front row, Cranbrook and McNally on row 2, and that wily veteran Charlie Kovacs is lurking on 5th spot on the grid, and the South Aussies made a great jump. The roaring snarl of an Aussie V8 in action, don't they sound sensational? What I'm looking for now is the championship contenders. They're right near one another, Elsgood and Cranbrook. How's this going to play out? We had the Century Batteries in-car with Nandy Kiss, and he had the view of all of these guys filing through turn 1, elbows out, and Cranbrook's getting into it already. Soaring away at the wheel because he's got company. Not much room in the kick here. Oh, boys. Oh, under brakes, locking wheels. It's ironic that he's got the Ferodo in-car. He might need the Ferodos if he needs to brake for turn 5. Nearly all out of shape coming out of that last turn, which is making him vulnerable now under brakes. Oh, no, taps in the rear. I could say, no patience whatsoever from Cranbrook. And that's George Mediki, new backing from iSeek this weekend, and he seeks another spot. You can see how playing with someone or being too patient can make you vulnerable to the attacking pack behind. They say that races can't be won in the first lap. I disagree when it comes to V8 Ute racing. You can certainly lose them, and you can certainly gain a lot of positions if you're hard and fast. The Jesus All About Life in-car from Andrew Fisher. Grant Johnson leads, but by .000 nothing of anything, because Gary Baxter is sneaking down the inside, right up against the guardrail. A charging Chucky Baxter, wanting to undo all the bad luck of the last round at Tasmania, wanting to climb back up this championship order, and laying down some early authority. Good brake move, turn 1. And those top 2 are clearing away. Kovacs and McNally, 3rd and 4th. So if you're not in a Commodore at the moment, you're not fighting for the lead. That's exactly right. We're saying that there was a slight advantage for the Holds in top-end speed, but this is the area where the Fords are strong. They are so closely matched, all of these cars in V8 Utes. They work incredibly hard in just making just the most 15th difference between the first and the last car. That's what makes this category so strong. Cranbrook up the inside of Mediki, down to the hairpin. This is turn 6, and Mediki can stay on the inside here and hang on. But look for Kim Jane to really slot in here, because Cranbrook, while he's searching for the spot, is slowing himself down. Yeah, this has gone on for a lap now, so let's go on board with Andrew Fisher. Janis Derham's in front, not for long. Whee! Got this. He had a tough run of the last race, as you saw. He's getting a tough run now too, I might add. Hallelujah. Ben Cavage, workhorse Ford, is in the gap, and poor Janis loses 2 spots. Andrew does have the brand new Greystead control engine on board. Look at the gap. The top 2 have driven away. Quarter race distance of race 3. Gary Baxter wants to be the Ute champ. Grant Johnson has been the Ute champion. But they're both right at the front. Look at Cavage here, down the inside of Hodges. Oh, Kim Jane and Leighton Cranbrook getting stuck into it. It's the last race. There's no point leaving anything on the table. No, and he's good under brakes too, Jane. I remember last year seeing he's on board. He revs the engine almost dangerously high as he goes into the braking zones. He tries to give the car a little bit more braking bias in the rear. And if you let the engine do the engine braking, it's like kind of moving the control bias in a V8 supercar. But it sounded ugly, but it worked. Speaking of ugly, the Jesus Ford has a mirror hanging off the side of it. Not sure what it's attached by. It looks like it's got sticky tape holding it on. Gone through a beautification process, we call that in V8 Ute territory. He's putting real pressure on Craig Dontis. This is where he made the move last time around. He looks at it, but Dontis
has got just a bit more pace.
It almost sucks you in. You think you can do it, then the road really closes in on you. So it's a false illusion.
That's the Yokohama replay of the move from last time, and a little bit of a hip and shoulder. And then Cabbage managed to get by, but this is still continuing. How about up the inside at turn 6? Doesn't help when Donaldson is parked there.
No, he's having to use a lot of real estate trying to work his way around too, and you can see now that's just put him right in the clutches of the car behind. They're getting low on their tyre bank. You can hear them starting to squeal as they're grabbing throttle, so traction is deteriorating as this race goes on, which always makes it exciting.
And patience generally is deteriorating on this point of the weekend. The Jesus all about life in car. 12th spot at the moment, Andrew Fisher. You can see there, Giannis Derms just a little bit wide on the apex, but have a look at these two. Baxter and Johnson, class of the field, and here comes Johnson.
Late.
Baxter thought about covering, but he was too far in the gap.
Great stuff, and you can tell how late that was by the attitude on Baxter's car.
It's a Commodore cakewalk at the front. Grant Johnson is into the lead in race 3. It's going off in the background. We'll continue to the checkered flag when we come back. Plenty of action in the third and final race of the Yokohama V8 Utes protected by Armour All. Unfortunately, though, nothing was going to protect George Elliott there from Mick Hannon. And the fight for the minor positions, well, it's got nasty.
Oh, that's ugly. That's a lot of cars fighting for the same space there. It looks like McNally's copped it in the back, and is that George Mediki as well, the black car.
And Charlie Kovacs was really lucky to get away with it. Now, Giannis Derms has returned serve on Andrew Fisher from before the break, so that's 15 all between those two.
That's a big hit too. He's copped that right in the front corner, and as you can see now, some collateral damage as a result of that hit.
And here's Kovacs defending from Jack Elsgood, who has proven time after time not afraid to look for the grip on the outside of turn 1, but that's got to be a bit of a low percentage move.
Wow, if he can make it work, well done, and he nearly has, but that relies on some cooperation from your fellow racer to make stick, and
it gets squeezy here.
Oh, it's a one line through there, one line only.
Let's have another go. DBA in car. Boy, that was good stuff.
That is good.
But Charlie's under real pressure. You can see the rear tyres are going away.
And you can see that. Oh, Jack having a look down the inside, can do it this time and gets it done, but you can see the seal just hanging off Charlie's car. If that continues to wave around like that, you'll get a mechanical black flag.
And Elsgood has still got to put this fight up because Charlie's back through on the inside. Steve Robinson and Glenn McNally are circling around, keen to pick up an easy spot.
This is great.
You've raced against this guy, Kovacs. How hard is he to get by?
You shut your eyes and just throw it in because you never know what he's going to do next. I love the bloke dearly, and his lovely wife Sylvia has been at every single race he's ever done, and they're a great team, and no one's more passionate than Charlie, which makes getting past him virtually impossible. But see, that sill is still swinging away there.
The sill is still swinging away. I get what you mean. Oh, Steve Robinson there must have missed a gear because Glenn McNally's gone by. And the young West Aussie is going to have a nibble at Jack Elsgood.
But look a little further back. That's Derms down the inside, 3 wide. He's doing a shallow line here, which means it's harder to break and turn in. Can he make it stick?
Oh, he's gone in deep.
He's got it, but he's lost it.
A bit too deep. He's not afraid to go late under brakes as Giannis.
I like his style.
But he's being hung out to dry. And Scotty Jennings in the United Oil Commodore, 2 wides with a flip-flop.
Yeah, I don't like 2 wide through there. It doesn't normally pay off.
Hey, these two, though, whatever they're doing, it's paying off because they're driven away.
Oh.
And Johnson's out through the dirt, and Baxter picks up the lead. Just 2 laps to go.
Threw his lead away. You saw him run a little wide on the entry to that turn.
And he's gifted the race lead to the South Australian. Yokohama replay. Oh, Kim Jane looked like he'd launched down the inside on Charlie Kovacs at turn 14.
That's a long way off the road.
It was almost back into the paddock there.
So clearly they've come together, and that's put them back into the snarling pack.
So Gary Baxter has just got 2 laps to go, and he's pulling away from Grant Johnson, and the body language of that car is not telling me good
something
things.
Going on with Johnson's car. I don't know whether it's a flat tyre or something, whether it's just off song.
Kurt Wimmer making a move on Robinson, and this is a guy who has got an engine that's down on power. It needs a rebuild. And if he's passing Robinson, then I'm not sure that's good news for the Ford.
Well, a good slipstream along this 1.1k straight pays off and pays dividends down to turn one. So you can actually drag yourself up if you've got a good slipstream.
The Queenslander goes around the Queenslander. Just. Not by much.
Makes me nervous whenever they go too wide through that section. But it's great to watch.
And George Mediki's just catching up into the mix. This is Nandy Kiss back in pit lane. Yokohama replay. Mike Tallison, that sounds like a busted tyre.
Flat tyre, front left, had no grip when he arrived at the corner and perhaps rolled it off the bead.
Well, he's in the pits. These guys are fighting for some valuable points. Jack Elsgood, the championship leader, coming into this weekend. Leighton Cranbrook's been chewing into that margin, but look at Gary Baxter, he's off the leash.
Grant Johnson's definitely nursing a problem here at the moment. You can see it, that's right. Front left is completely
it's gone
flat.
He's going to struggle just to get to the end here because that tyre is tearing itself to shreds.
How much can one man achieve with only 3 working wheels?
Well, he's just got to keep driving. It's the last lap. He's just got to keep... Oh, listen to it. Oh, it's throwing debris all over the place.
Let's not forget this is a man who threw it into the fence at 180 kilometres an hour at Clipsal. He doesn't want a repeat of anything like that. They had to completely build a new car.
And right-handers are evil for him now because with the left front puncture, the car just won't want to turn the corner.
What a shame. That was shaping up to be an absolute titanic battle to the finish. But can he get this thing home and in what position?
This is a man who does not want to walk back to the pits. He's going to drive this thing even if it falls on its belly.
The question is, who else is he going to fall victim to? Jack Elsgood now on board with him as they start to chase down what is a bleeding Grant Johnson. I think that's him in front there.
He's limping, and I reckon Jack might just get to him before the last corner, but lights ablaze for Gary Baxter. He's going to take race 3, and that's good enough to make him the first repeat round winner in 2009, and that puts his championship back on track. Here's Grant Johnson. Can he make it home? Can the rest get to him?
Get up and son, go!
He's going as fast as he can go. The rest are trying to block one another out.
Come on, Grant. Oh, no! It's just tearing the car apart.
Who cares? Who needs it? He's made it. That's brilliant.
That's one of the greatest finishes I've ever seen.
Anyone for a Friday Yokohama?
Look at Grant Johnson. Completely in the wake of debris. Half the car peeled apart.
And you know what? That could really prove to be the difference between winning a championship and not at the end of the season. But Gary Baxter wins from Cranbrook. Grant Johnson somehow in 3rd. Craig Dontis rounded out the top 10.
Andrew Fisher managing to finish in 14th position. Kim James, 16th. Probably not where he would like to finish. He's been better here before.
Plenty of drama, plenty of carnage. The man who made it to 3rd was Grant Johnson.
We had a bit of a flat tyre going into turn 1 with a few laps to go, and the call was to see what we could do for the championship. I was just hoping for another left turn. Every time I turned right, I'd go straight ahead. So once I got on the straight, I was pretty all right. I just kept it flat and kept changing gears and hoped for the best, and managed to hold on for 3rd. It's great. We had good pace all weekend, and it's just unfortunate we didn't kind of get the round win, but we're back in the championship. That's what matters.